Serving AmeriGas burgers and AmeriGas dogs. And thank you to AmeriGas for that donation.
From Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska, it is game number 34 for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Tonight they pay a visit to the Alaska Baseball League's National League champions, the Matsu Miners. I am Garrett Mansfield. Alongside me is Andrew Alex. We will hear from Andrew in a moment. Tonight, the Chinooks are looking to bounce back after a very disappointing stretch after the All-Star game on Sunday and losing 3 straight times to the Glacier Pilots. This is the second meeting of the year second to last meeting between these two clubs. The Miners owning the season series 9 wins to 2. On the bright side, though, both of the Chinooks wins came with Connor Menez on the mound, and the lefty will square off against the Matsu 9 this evening. Menez from the Masters College is 3-1 with an 1.82 ERA. He will be countered by Texas A&M right-hander Kyle Simons. Simons is 4-0 with an ERA of 1.5. Without going too much further, let's meet tonight's starting lineups brought to you by BP, powering Alaska's future. First, for the visiting Chinooks, a team hitting .230, good enough for 4th in the Alaska Baseball League, and averaging 3.5 runs per game. Leading things off from Santa Ana College is third baseman Patrick Cromwell. Hitting second is the designated hitter from UAB, Matt Ferrudo. Hitting third and playing center field also from Santa Ana College, Cameron Baranek. Tyler Boxwell will do the catching, hitting cleanup from Stephen F. Austin. Batting fifth is West Virginia's Caleb Potter. He'll play right field tonight. David Morton will play left field from Xavier. He hit sixth. Hitting seventh is the first baseman Holt Davis from UAB. And Waylon Baptist, Will Bass will play second base and hit eighth. And then batting ninth is the shortstop Hunter Hanks from Lipscomb. The Chinooks are managed by Taylor White tonight, alongside with pitching coach GM Chris Beck and then bench coach Cody Cruncher. Now let's meet the starters for the Matsu Miners, who are the best offensive team in the league, hitting an ABL leading .274 and averaging 4.4 runs per game. They come in at 26-7 in the league. Leading things off is the center fielder, St. John's center fielder Alex Caruso. Kansas State's Tyler Wolf will play shortstop and hit second. Batting third is Brick Paskowitz from Paradise Valley Community College. Then Tanner Nishioka will hit fourth as the designated hitter from Pomona-Pitzer. Hitting fifth is the third baseman Niles Nygaard. He comes from the University of Washington. Then Utah's Hunter Simmons will hit sixth and play first base. Hitting seventh, the catcher J.J. Hancock from Washington State. From TCU, left fielder Connor Wanahanan, he will hit eighth. And then batting ninth from Nebraska, the second baseman Jake Schleppenbach. The Matsu Miners are managed by Ben Taylor, alongside with his pitching coach Ben Greeley and the bench coach Sean Winston. Well, we're going to step aside here for a moment as the national anthem is just moments away, but the first pitch between the Chinooks and the Miners is right around the corner on your home for Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks baseball. And we're back here at Herman Brothers Field. The Chinooks and the Matsu Miners just moments away from tonight's first pitch. The Chinooks are 14-19 coming into play. They're 12 games back in the standings to the Matsu Miners, who are 26-7, already clinching their division and will represent the National League in the top of the World Series. Their opponent still yet to be determined. We'll get into more of that later. But the big one tonight is going to be the pitching matchup. Connor Menez going to the hill for the Chinooks to be countered by Kyle Simons, a right-hander from Texas A&M.
Yeah, Connor Menez has just been such an outstanding presence from the mound this year for the Chinooks, and of course, scouts taking notice over All-Star Weekend. A lot of rumblings between the Major League Northwest scouts that were sent up here when they were clocking him a fastball from the left side, got up to 91, 92 a couple of times, and the way he's been locating his fastball has just been on point. But Connor Menez is really the only guy on the Chinooks to have any kind of form of success against the Matsu Miners. He is responsible for both of the victories that the Chinooks have gotten over the Miners this year. And in those two victories, he struck out a combined 16 Matsu Miners over 13 1/3 of play, Garrett.
Yeah, the two wins, that's 2 of the 7 losses total by the Matsu Miners that Menez has crafted, but he's looking to bounce back from a rough start his last time out. We'll get to more of that when he comes up to pitch, but Kyle Simons is the man on the hill for the Miners tonight as he takes a 4-0 record up against the Chinooks. Does have a victory this year already. That was back late in the month of June. But now the Chinooks, Patrick Cromwell, Matt Ferruto, and then Cameron Baranek, the 3 due up here in the first inning for Taylor White in the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Simons is ready. He winds up in tonight's first pitch. It's going to be downstairs for ball 1. Chinooks wearing their red tops tonight, going with the gray pants. The Navy Chinooks going across the chest with the numbers on the back. And that's going to be outside ball 2 quickly. Here to Patrick Cromwell, just underway in Palmer, where the Chinooks and the Miners are meeting for now the 12th time. And Simons comes back inside, hits the corner against Patrick Cromwell. It goes to 2-1. Just underway, top of the first inning, no score from Herman Brothers Field. Simons rocks into his motion, the 2-1 pitch, and Cromwell fouls it straight back. Patrick Cromwell hitting .216, had a 3-hit night, the first of the season for him this summer. Now Simons with a 2-2 count against Cromwell. Winds it up. Here's the offering. That's going to skip in the dirt for ball 3. Defensively, J.J. Hancock doing the catching for the Miners. Hunter Simmons at first base. Jake Schleppenbach at second. Tyler Wolf at short. Niles Nygaard at third base. Connor Wanhanen playing left field. Alex Caruso out in center. And then Brick Paskowitz in right. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's going to go low, ball 4. 18th walk of the summer for Patrick Cromwell to lead off the top of the first.
And Cromwell, kind of under the radar with the walks, but he's led the Chinooks this summer in picking up walks, and that has really been a presence for him, and probably a lot of the reason why Jordan Vieira ultimately opted to move him to the top of the lineup, and he stayed there and been really successful in that role in the month of July.
Here's Matt Ferruto hitting .265. 13 of 39 against the Matsu Miners, so a .333 average against a very tough pitching team as Ferruto takes strike 1 on the inner half. Just underway in a scoreless ball game. But the leadoff runner aboard for the Chinooks. Pickoff throw to first, and back safely is Cromwell with a head-first dive. Miners going with the green tops tonight. Script Miners across the chest. In yellow numerals on the back. And the home white pants, the green tops with the yellow brim. Here's the 0-1 grounded to third. Nygaard goes to second for 1. The relay by Schleppenbach is not in time. So a fielder's choice by Ferruto gets him to first base. And Cromwell going to be out on the force at second. So with 1 out, here comes Cameron Baranek. Baranek went 0 for 5 last night, but he did reach base with an error. Fortunately, reaching on an error does not help the on-base percentage. Therefore, His streak of 22 games getting on base is now gone. One appearances in 2015 with the Aggies. Here's his 0-1, missing inside to Baronic, goes to 2-0. At a 3-2 record and in an impressive 2.39 ERA, striking out 32 over 52 innings. Here's the 2-0 to Baronic. That's on the outside corner for a strike. This summer for the Matsu Miners, Kyle Simons, over 30 innings, has 23 strikeouts and just 12 walks. Works first base side of the rubber, kicks and fires the 1-2. Going to be a dribbler up the middle. Right there is Wolf at short, right behind the bag, steps on it for one and throw to first for the inning-ending double play on Baronic. So an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Simons and the Matsu Miners. So after a half inning, the Chinooks held off the scoreboard, don't leave anybody on base, and now the Miners will come to hit in the bottom of the first inning. They'll have Caruso, Wolf, and Paskowitz to lead off their half of inning number one, but they're going to be dealt with the task of seeing left-hander Connor Menez for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And Menez has been a tough one for anybody to figure out, but his last start didn't last too long, went just 3 innings, giving up 3 runs, only one of them earned. 3 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But he has gone at least 5 innings in all of his other starts outside of that one, including a pair of victories against the Matsu Miners. The last time he faced the Miners, though all of these are at home, 7 innings, a hit or a run on 6 hits, 7 strikeouts. And then at the very end of June was one of the most impressive outings we've seen all summer from any pitcher, going 6 1/3, just 2 hits and 9 strikeouts against a very stacked lineup for Ben Taylor and the Miners.
Yeah, Garrett, and when we go back to Connor Menez's last start, and that's on the 15th of July, like you said, he only lasted 3 innings, but you can't really put the fault on him for that. The number of errors in the field, not only did they allow runs, but they kept the innings going, and he was throwing more and more pitches, and ultimately, he had to get pulled his stuff after 80, 90 pitches. Just wasn't what it usually would be in about the 3rd inning of play. But otherwise, Connor Menez just such a stellar season. They need him here after having dropped the last 3 in 5 of the last 6 games.
Yeah, they just need a spark any way they can find it. And offensively, lots of struggles, and that's the one thing we talked with him last night about was just getting run support. The Chinooks had no problems getting hits off of the Pilots the last couple of nights. It's just been getting runners home. They went a run on 8 hits last night, then 2 runs on 6 hits the night before. That's pretty respectable, but then 4 runs on just 8 hits again 3 nights ago. So it's just been tough getting guys all the way around the bases and getting them back home. So Chinooks and the Miners in the bottom of the first inning, and Alex Caruso hitting .347 will stand in. Lefty-lefty matchup here.
Alex Caruso.
Caruso from St. John's. 16 walks coming into play. He only had a 1 for 10 trip to Fairbanks. Hard to believe that for Caruso, who's hit against about anybody. First offering from Menez goes high for ball 1. And Connor, he was 7-1 at the Masters College this last year and struck out 67 over 79 innings. That one misses inside, so the count moves to 2-0 against Caruso. Caruso also among the leaders on the team in stolen bases with 5. Menez fires this one high and outside, ball 3. So just underway, bottom of inning number 1. Chinooks went down with a walk, then a fielder's choice and a double play in the first inning. 3-0 pitch misses upstairs, and both Connor Menez and Kyle Simons have walked their leadoff hitters to knock out any chance of a perfect game tonight. So maybe there's more of a chance for some offense on both sides than the pitching dominance we expect.
And Garrett, anyone who watched the Chinooks game last night, seeing a leadoff walk kind of makes you cringe. So hopefully Connor Menez can get right into his groove here.
Here's Tyler Wolf, right-handed hitting shortstop from Kansas State, takes strike one from Connor Menez. So it took 5 pitches, but he finally has a strike across. Connor now working out of the stretch, first base side of the rubber. He's ready, chin high, checking his runner, fires home, and Wolf yanks this one foul down the left side. So the count will quickly go 0-2. Connor Menez played with the Xenia Scouts a year ago in Ohio in the Great Lakes League, and now taking his talents up the Athletes in Action ladder to the Alaska League. Here's his 0-2 to Wolf, banked foul to the first base side, and that'll get out of play. We'll stay at 0-2. And here we are on the 24th day of July. Season winding down, just a week left in the month of July. And only 8 games remain on the schedule. After today, pickoff move at the first. Not in time to get Caruso. He's back there safely. Chinooks will play a pair here with the Matsu Miners today and tomorrow to close the road schedule. That's outside from Menez for ball 1 to Tyler Boxwell. Doing the catching, made a nice backhanded stab to keep Caruso from trying to advance. So Menez coming set. Checks his runner Caruso at first. Now comes to the plate with the 1-2. Fouled off behind first base again. Chinooks on the road this year, 8-11. They started out at 7-0 on the road. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Wolf lines us down the left field line. It's fair inside the line. I'll go all the way to the wall. Caleb Potter, the left fielder, to corral it. Caruso coming around third will try to score, and they're going to pull him up as the throw came in faster than Ben Taylor expected. He was waving him around, but holds up Caruso at third base after Tyler Wolf. A double puts runners at second and third for Brick Paskowitz.
Very uncharacteristic of Connor Menez to let up hits early, but it is what it is. And now that he's in a little bit of a jam, it's going to be kind of a tall order to get out of it with Paskowitz and Nishioka coming up.
Brick has really hurt the Chinooks in multiple different ways, both at the plate and on the mound. 11 of 33 hitting against Chinooks pitching. First offering to Paskowitz, hits the outside edge for a strike. Brick hitting .354 with 12 RBIs. He'll be heading to Grand Canyon in the fall after his JUCO days at Paradise Valley. And he hits this one. It's going to go fair down the first base side, and they're going to just flip it to first base. And staying at third will be Alex Caruso. Just tough to get anything going there. Connor honestly could have just made the tag, but the flip to his first baseman, Holt Davis, to complete the first out of the inning. So it is Holt Davis at first, Will Bass at second, Hunter Hanks at short, Patrick Cromwell playing third base. Out left field is David Morton, Cameron Baronic in center, Caleb Potter in right. Here's the first offering to Nishioka, and Menez comes inside for strike 1, right off the inside part of the plate. You think Brick terrorizes the Chinooks enough? Well, Nishioka, the only other guy that's done more, hitting 14 of 23 overall against Chinooks pitching as well, and that's fouled straight back. He loses the handle on the bat, and it clears everyone on the stands along the left side of play.
And that's the second time we've seen this week. Caleb Potter doing it as well in a game against the Glacier Pilots earlier in the week, and that's scary stuff to see. Make sure to get the pine tar on your bat. Of course, every single baseball game you'll ever go to, you get the warning.
So 0-2, 1 down. Miners at second and third. Caruso led off the inning with a walk against Connor Menez, and then Tyler Wolf doubled down the left field line. But second and third, nobody out, but Rick Paskowitz with a weak ground out for the first out of the inning. But Connor Menez, now working 40 innings total on the season, has 36 strikeouts. That leads the Chinooks and among the league leaders. Also only has 16 walks. Those 40 innings also do lead the league. Here's the 0-2, and that's lined into right field. That's going to get in front of Caleb Potter for a base hit coming home. And to score is Alex Caruso and give Nishioka his 13th RBI of this season, and the Miners a 1-0 lead.
And Tanner Nishioka has one of the most beautiful swings that you will see in this league, and he just continues to be the Achilles heel for the Chinooks this season.
Here comes Washington's Niles Nygaard. Right-handed hitting third baseman has been a big surprise for the Matsu Miners this season. But he has put together a great year. 9 extra base hits, 10 RBIs. Takes first pitch breaking ball in there from Menez. Menez, 2-seam fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. The lefty coming set. Here's his pitch, and that's going to be back to the mound to second for one. The relay by Hanks to first is in time. Inning-ending double play goes 1-6-3. The 28th double play the Chinooks have turned this season, and that ends the first inning. So after one, the Matsu Miners won, and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks nothing. We'll be right back with more Chinooks baseball. Tyler Boxwell leading off the Chinooks second inning against Kyle Simons, the Stephen F. Austin catcher, hitting .224. Here's the first offering. That's hit into the air to left center, but ranging over there is Connor Wanhanen, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Caleb Potter playing right field today, then David Morton. That's the 3 due up. Chinooks trailing 1-0 after a full inning of playing. The Miners getting their 1 run after a pair of base hits and a walk off of Connor Menez. Here's the first offering to Potter, and he fouls it straight back and over the screen for strike 1. Chinooks went down somewhat in order in the first inning. A walk from Cromwell, then a fielder's choice by Ferruto, and then a double play ball from Baranek. Here's the 0-1 to Caleb Potter. He swings, hits this one in the air, right side of the infield. Now into the outfield grass is the second baseman, Schleppenbach. He makes the basket catch, ranging into foul ground for out number 2. So Kyle Simons, so far getting comfortable up there at the plate. And now we'll face David Morton, who's hitting now an even .300, one of just 2 Chinooks that can say that. Morton and Jacob Brobst So 2 of the 3 Buckeyes on this club are the ones leading the team in hitting. First offering to Morton goes high and outside for ball 1 from Kyle Simons.
And Dave Morton's really come into his own since the month of July.
Here's the 1-0 offering. Going to be upstairs, ball 2.
I think it started with a 3-hit day he had against the Glacier Pilots and one of the last days of June, and since then he's been one of the more consistent spots in the Chinook lineup.
Here's the 2-0 outside 3-0. And Dave filled in for Cameron Baronic in center field for much of that stretch in late June and the first couple of weeks of July. The 3-0 downstairs, ball 4, second walk of the day for Kyle Simons. And David Morton will trot to first base with a base runner with 2 outs, and now Holt Davis coming to bat. Davis hitting just 188.
Batting for the Chinooks, first baseman Holt Davis.
Davis. Last night was 0 for 3, did walk. Simons working out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Davis. Misses up and in for ball 1. Of course, the Matsu Miners already have everything locked up. In the National League, they'll represent the Chinooks Pilots Miners Division in the top of the World Series. And they will be facing either the Bucks or the Oilers. Gold Painters all but out of it, as they are double-digit games out of first place in the other division. Here's the 1-0 swing and a miss from Holt Davis, 1-1. Holt, couple doubles, couple triples, 7 runs batted in. Holding down first base in the absence of Michael Staudinger. Hits a weak ground ball up the middle. There the glove it is Tyler Wolf. The throw on the first is in plenty of time, and that retires the side for the Chinooks in the top of the second inning. And we have played an inning and a half. Chinooks now have left a runner on, still trailing 1-0. And being in the middle of inning number 2 gets a chance to get everyone caught up on the schedule coming up for the Chinooks. They'll play here with the Matsu Miners tomorrow with a 6 p.m. game. And then back home on Sunday against the Oilers for a quick 2-game Sunday-Monday series. And Sunday will be Community Cares Night. That 4 p.m. first pitch will feature kids' games as well around the ballpark. And then we do encourage everyone to bring as many non-perishable food items as you can muster up and bring them to the ballpark that day, and those will be collected and then donated to the Eagle River Food Pantry. And then the Chinooks will have an off day Tuesday, then play a quick 2-game set with the Anchorage Bucks Wednesday and Thursday, looking to sweep the Bucks in the season series. Hard to believe that. Chinooks could potentially sweep the season series with the Gold Panthers and the Anchorage Bucks this year, but the Bucks playing some of their best baseball of the summer. And then an off day Friday, and then the final 2 games of the season will come on Saturday and Sunday, August 1st and the 2nd. And also another promotion on Thursday night, the last game against the Anchorage Bucks. That's going to be Fred Meyer night at the ballpark. Various raffles and Fred Meyer prizes will be given out at that one. So to the bottom of inning number 2. And the Chinooks, Connor Menez back to the hill against Hunter Simmons. Menez rocks into his motion the first pitch, and that's going to be taken on the inside corner for strike 1. It's fine. You're in a concession stand? Water. So 0-1 for Connor Menez to Hunter Simmons. He fires home, and Simmons hits this one the other way towards right, but Caleb Potter goes back a couple steps, reaches up, and makes the grab for out number 1. That'll bring up J.J. Hancock. Hancock hitting an even 200. Expecting a little bit more from Hancock this summer, but he has done enough as the catcher and done a very good job defensively, and Hancock will be getting some more time here the rest of the way. Bad news for the Matsu Miners and their catcher, Zach Plunkett. First offering from Connor Menez is a changeup, hits the inside part of the plate for strike one. Zach Plunkett suffered a broken finger, and the TCU Horned Frog will be heading home within the next day or so to get that treated. And Menez fires a fastball low and away, 1-1. And Plunkett, maybe not doing as much at the plate, but in terms of defense and the way he catches, just really, really impressive. That's low and away from Menez, a 2-1 count, one gone. So J.J. Hancock will have to be handling the majority of the catching duties the rest of the way. And Matt DiOrio, the other catcher on the roster, might be forced into having to catch a game or so. Come back to the mound. Menez knocks it down and picks it back up and throws to Holt Davis at first base for out number 2. So now Menez working with 2 outs in the bottom half of this second inning. Menez with second and third, nobody out last inning, gave up a RBI single to Tanner Nishioka that put the Miners up 1-0, and then got a double play ball up the middle off the bat of Niles Nygaard. First offering to Connor Wanhanen. That's on the inside corner for strike one. Connor Wanhanen, if you haven't heard the name, could be a household one over the next couple of years in college baseball and beyond. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Menez. That's upstairs, 1-1. Connor Wanhanen, freshman designated hitter with TCU, on the College World Series all-tournament team. Hitting a stellar well over 300 this year. Fouls that one off, goes to 1-2. He doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he really does hit. Had 7 extra base hits, hit 329, 40 RBIs for TCU. Pretty good program, and not a bad ball player at all. Here's the 1-2, and he swings and misses at that one from Connor Menez. First strikeout of the evening for Connor, and he will get out of the second inning unscathed. It's still a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Matsu Miners. We'll be right back for more Alaska Baseball League action between the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks and the Matsu Miners. Will Bass will lead off the top of inning number 3 for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. It'll be Will Bass, Hunter Hanks, then the top of the order in Patrick Cromwell. As Kyle Simons winds it up the first offering, and Will Bass waves at that one. So we begin the third inning with an 0-1 count. No base hits for the Chinooks, just a run on 2 hits for the Matsu Miners. Connor Menez at 1-2-3, bottom of the second. Bass waves and misses at that one from Simons. Goes down 0-2. To Will Bass. He hits it sharply up the middle, but fielded by Kyle Simons, and he throws on to first base and Hunter Simmons for out number 1. brings up the number 9 hitter, and Hunter Hanks did have a base hit last night, hitting 178 over the course of this season. The shortstop from Lipscomb. First offering from Simons, grooved right in the zone for strike 1, taken all the way by Hunter Hanks. Oh, 1 and a jam job back to the mound. Simons picks it up, throws it on to first for out number 2. Almost an identical at bat of Will Bass. A quick 2 outs for Patrick Cromwell now. Cromwell walked and was retired on a fielder's choice to lead off the ball game. And so far, Kyle Simons has had no issues with this Chinooks batting order. First offering to Cromwell, missing well outside ball 1. Will Hibbs, last night for the Glacier Pilots, he burned through it. 5 innings, scoreless baseball. Drew Jacobs had a very strong start the night before, and here's a 1-0 from Simons inside corner for a strike. And then Nick Meservey gave up 4 runs, but was nowhere close to the 9-run hill the Glacier Pilots offense built. Here's the 1-1 offering from Simons. That's going to be on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So now a 1-2 count, 2 down, top of inning number 3. Here's the pitch, and Cromwell, another comebacker. Simon snags it, goes to first for the out, and that retires the side. 3 putouts for Kyle Simons, and the top of inning number 3, holding the Chinooks scoreless through the first 10 batters he sees to bring out Connor Menez again. Trailing, tough luck, 1-0, and it's Connor starting to, in terms of the Chinooks offense and the flutters that it is in right now, seems to be like every single start Corey Kluber has made this year.
Yeah, Garrett, and we talked to Connor yesterday, and you asked him whether it's a head game, with the offense's lack of production. And he said, well, obviously I would prefer to, have them get 1 or 2 runs in the top of the first inning, just to, it's kind of like a security blanket that you have going in. You can pitch with more confidence. And, here we are through 3 innings of play. The Chinooks just look kind of dead at the plate. And if you're Connor Menez, you're pitching right now already behind after, a walk and a couple of, hits. And suddenly you have this immense pressure on yourself to not let any more damage continue. And that's just a tough position to pitch from mentally.
Yeah, it really is. But Connor's one of those guys that is just going to go out and keep throwing it. Whether he's up 10-0 or down 10-0, he'll still pitch hard no matter what. He'll face Jake Schleppenbach in the top of the order, and Alex Caruso and Tyler Wolf. Schleppenbach hitting .215 from the University of Nebraska, another Big Ten school represented up here. First offering in the lefty-lefty matchup, and a big swing and a miss by Schleppenbach. Getting a look around the league today, all 6 teams are in action. Chinooks and Miners in a 1-0 game in favor of the home club, Matsu. In this one, wind up in the 1-0. That's going to miss upstairs. Now that makes the count 1-1. Down in Kenai, Anchorage Bucks and the Peninsula Oilers. Bucks leading that one 1-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Menez on the ground to Will Bass at second. He fields it cleanly, throw to first in time for out number 1. But the Oilers got a win finally in that series last night, winning 1-0 in the second game of a doubleheader. The Bucks have swept that series so far, outside of that one game, playing 7 head-to-head matchups. And this is the last time those 2 teams will face each other And the two teams fighting to play the Matsu Miners in the top of the World Series. Here's Alex Caruso, the leadoff hitter, takes ball one, squared to bunt, but pulled back. He walked and scored to lead off the ball game in the bottom of the first. But the Bucks, in my opinion, have a much easier road schedule-wise. Menez fires that one down and away. Ball two. But the Oilers trailing the Bucks by 2 games in that division. And the Oilers will have to face the Matsu Miners the final 2 days of the season. So even if it's close by that time, they're really going to have to play some of their best baseball to get over the hump, and they're going to have to beat Matsu at least one time, and that's going to be pretty tough. 3-0 pitch is in there to Caruso. Makes it a 3-1 count to Caruso from Connor Menez. Menez working out of the windup. Rocks into his motion. And the 3-1 pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. The Oilers, after their series with the Bucks end on Saturday, will come to Chugiak and play 2 quick ones with the Chinooks. And then they'll play 4 with the Gold Panthers and then 2 with the Miners to end the season. There's ball 4 missing inside from Connor Menez, so his streak of 5 retired in a row is now over. Second walk of the day for Caruso, and his 18th on the season. So now both leadoff hitters in this game with 18 walks. But the Anchorage Bucks have a little easier road. 3 with the Gold Panthers after this 7-game set with the Oilers, and 1 with the Miners, 2 with the Chinooks, and then 3 with the Panthers to end the season. They won't have an off day either. First offering to Tyler Wolf is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Wolf doubled down the left field line. His first time up. Was stranded at third base at the end of that inning. Bottom 3, 1-0 Miners, and Menez gets him to ground back to the shortstop Hunter Hanks, who has it at second for 1. The throw to first in time, double play.
That was a beauty of a play there by Hunter Hanks, getting Connor Menez out of this inning.
Second double play in 3 innings turned by Connor Menez. The final game in the day will be started in about 20 minutes. Gold Panthers and Glacier Pilots up in Fairbanks. We'll have scores from that when we get them. But after 3 innings of play, the Chinooks and the Matsu Miners in a 1-0 ball game in favor of the team in green. We'll be right back with more Chinooks baseball.
And we are back here for the top of the 4th inning. Andrew, Alex, Garrett, and Mansfield here at Herman Brothers Field in beautiful Palmer, Alaska. A very pleasant, sunny, warm evening here at Herman Brothers Field, and the Chinooks trailing 1-0 at the hands of the Matsu Miners. And Matt Ferrudo starting things off for the Chinooks here in the top of the 4th. Quickly falling behind 0-2, though, with a swing and a miss and a foul ball. Ferrudo from the University of Alabama, Birmingham. He's a native of Birmingham, Alabama as well, and he has been a mainstay in the Chinook lineup. This is his 104th at-bat of the season if he doesn't get walked. The pitch, And swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Ferrudo goes down swinging. And that's just the first strikeout of the day for Kyle Simons. But he has yet to allow a hit to the Chinooks lineup. So now Cam Baronic to the plate. He awaits the first pitch from Simons. Big hack there, swing and a miss at a pitch up and away fastball. 0-1 to count. Baronic has scored 19 times. That leads all Chinooks, and very impressive when you think about how he missed 10 games due to his PCL injury, but Baronic fouls that pitch back over the screen. Brings the count to 0-2. Simons sets the 0-2, and Baronic pops that one foul. As always, tonight's ball game is very well packed here with fans at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, probably drawing the best crowds in the Alaska Baseball League. Easily. 0-2, and Baronic takes outside, moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baronic, 13 RBIs. Of course, his first time up, he grounded into a double play, and that was to end the top of the first inning. The 1-2 pitch, and Baronic watches that on the outside, evens the count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. The Mat-Su Miners lead 1-0 over your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Simons pitching out of the windup, and Baronic pops that one foul yet again. So Cam Baronic, if nothing else, working the pitch count here on Kyle Simons. Baronic was voted an All-Star for the National League side. And he watches ball 3 there. The count goes full. The Chinooks still yet to get a hit in this ball game, but David Morton and Patrick Cromwell have both walked. So the count is 3-2. The pitch from Simons, and Baronic swing and a miss, strike 3. So Kyle Simons has struck out the first 2 Chinooks he's seen here in the top of the 4th, and now with 2 down, that's going to bring up Tyler Boxwell. Boxy, the catcher, batting .224 on the year. 7 RBIs. He's scored 4 times. First pitch to Boxy, and that's taken on the inside. Ball 1.
Batting for the Chinooks is catcher Tyler Boxwell.
Boxwell from Stephen F. Austin State University. He played junior college under Mat-Su Miners manager Ben Taylor. And at the All-Star game, there was definitely some friendly joking around there between the very energetic Taylor and Boxwell. But Boxwell watches outside there, so that moves the count to 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes the 2-0. And Boxwell pops that one up into left field. Is hooking foul, but coming under it, the left fielder, Connor Wanhanen, but he cannot come up with the grab as he just dropped that one. A pretty routine fly ball out there in left field foul territory, but Connor Wanhanen, of course, doesn't really play the fields on a normal basis, and it really showed there. So Boxwell trots back into the box, and the count's going to be 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe. The pitch, and Boxwell fouls that one straight back into the screen as the speedy bat boy Ty Beck going out to try to make the grab. So the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, the pitch. And Boxwell watches that one in the dirt for the second straight time. Kyle Simons brings the count full. on the Chinook batter. The Texas A&M Aggie. Sets, delivers the pitch, and that one's low and inside, ball four. So Tyler Boxwell trots over to first, and for the third time in 4 innings, the Chinooks have a man aboard. And now Caleb Potter coming to the plate. Potter, the home run derby champion. Has that necessarily translated into home runs in the game? No. But we're just waiting for Potter to get that pitch as he takes on the outside, ball one. Potter comes into the game batting a .173. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to second his first time up. The pitch. And Potter watches that one sail in the zone. A called strike evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Potter from Mentor, Ohio. A student athlete at West Virginia University. That's a Big 12 school. 1-1 pitch. And that one misses on the outside. So the count moves 2 balls, 1 strike. With 2 outs here, Tyler Boxwell's on first. The Chinooks trailing this ball game 1-0. Trying to even the score here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And Potter grounds that one sharply, but foul. Down the third base line, that's going to make the count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Potter, his last game he started against the Massey Miners was on July 9th. He went 1 for 4 in the Chinooks 7-2 victory over the Miners. And Potter pops that one up foul. Staying alive in the count here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Potter's hit in that game was a double. That was late in the game, kind of solidified the Chinook victory. That was another Connor Menez start. The pickoff attempt there from Kyle Simons. Not nearly in time to get Boxwell, who quite honestly was not taking that big of a lead. Kind of just took a half step back towards first. Here's the 2-2. And Potter grounds that one to the shortstop, Tyler Wolf. He tosses over to first in time for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Chinooks with no runs on no hits, 1 man left aboard. And they have been no hit here by Kyle Simons through 4 innings of play.
MEA for sponsorship night at the ballpark. We are all MEA.
So now we move into the bottom of the 4th inning. The Chinooks still trailing 1-0, and Connor Menez heading back out to the mound for his 4th inning of work.
Also, folks, a special announcement, and they need your help.
Menez through 3 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It is earned. He's walked 2, strikeout 1.
Guys in unison to sing Matt a happy birthday real quick. 1.
So it looks like the fans are going to sing Matt Diorio a happy birthday here. And while they do that, we're just going to remind you that our broadcasts here are brought to you by the fine folks at BP. BP, powering Alaska's future. And Connor Menez, though, just such a dominant season for the Chinooks. And, he's the kind of guy that, the way he has been playing, a lot of people don't expect to see him back here this year despite his young age. He's just going into his junior year. But indications show that next summer, Connor could be, in the minor league system or maybe at the Cape Cod League. But as he takes his warm-up pitches, he's set to face this inning. Brick Paskowitz, Tanner Nishioka, and Niles Nygaard. A tall order.
Batting for your Miners, make some noise for our right fielder, Brick Paskowitz.
So now Brick Paskowitz coming to the plate to start off the bottom of the 4th here. The Chinooks trailing 1-0. to the Matsu Miners. Here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer on a beautiful Friday evening. First pitch from Menez. That misses on the inside, ball one. Brick, his first time up, went down on a comebacker right to Connor Menez. The 1-0. And Menez misses again. That brings the count to 2-0. Connor's teammate at the Masters College, Jason Carkenny, he pitched last night. As Connor's pitch there to Brick Paskowitz is hit right into the gap. Will Bass diving, trying to block it with his glove, but can't come up with it. So mark it as an infield hit for Brick Paskowitz. And that's now the third hit allowed by Connor Menez on the day. So with the leadoff runner on first for the Matsu Miners, that's going to bring up Tanner Nishioka.
Tanner Nishioka.
Nishioka, his first time up, he had an RBI single, driving in the lone run that's been allowed this game by Connor Menez. And like Garrett said earlier, just a guy that's been absolutely terrorizing Chinooks pitching this season, and Menez with the pickoff attempt over to first. Trying to get Brick Paskowitz, but no cigar there. But Menez has gotten a couple guys on a pickoff move this year, so not a bad idea by the lefty. The pitch. And Nishioka grounds that one sharply to Hunter Hanks at second. Will Bass for one, and he throws it to Holt Davis for two. That's the third double play of the game that the Chinooks have turned. A 6-4-3 double play. And now there's two down here.
Niles Nygaard.
With Niles Nygaard coming to the plate. Niles Nygaard, his first time up, grounded into the first double play. First pitch to Nygaard finds the strike zone. And like Garrett said earlier, no one really expected anything out of this guy coming into the season, but guys like Nygaard who came in and impressed people, part of the reason why the Matsu Miners are more than 16 games over 500. Here's the 0-2. And Menez throws upstairs. Moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the count is 1-2. Menez sets, and he delivers. And Nygaard lifts that one into center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Chasing back there is Cam Baronic. And rounding first for second is Niall Nygaard, and he'll be standing at second with a double. So Connor Menez gets ahead 0-2 on Niles Nygaard, but Nygaard ripping one
Makes a noise for first baseman Hunter Simmons.
into left center field for a stand-up double, and now the Miners with 2 outs. They have a runner in scoring position, trying to extend their lead here against the Chinooks ace Connor Menez. Now Menez set to face Hunter Simmons. First pitch to Simmons, and that one's lifted foul out of play down the first base line. Simmons, 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to right his first time up. The 0-1 coming here. And then it's missing on the outside with the fastball. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Simmons batting .297 on the year. Just 37 at-bats. 5 RBIs. And the 1-1 pitch from Connor Menez to Simmons. Finds the strike zone, evens the count up, or moves the count to 1-2 here with Niles Nygaard over at second and 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning with the Chinooks trailing by a score of 1-0 at the hands of the divisional champion Matsu Miners. The 1-2 pitch, and Simmons lifts that one up and under it in right field. Caleb Potter for out number 3. So the Miners with no runs on 2 hits, 1 man left aboard, and after 4 innings of baseball, the Matsu Miners lead this one 1-0. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. So we head back at the hands of the Matsu Miners and still hitless through 4 innings of play. And up to the plate to try to change that for the Chinooks is David Morton. He walked his first time up. Morton watches the first pitch strike. 0-1 the count now. Morton 6 for his last 13. So he's been seeing the ball very well as of late, and he watches that strike again. So David Morton quickly falls behind in this count, 0-2. Simons sets, delivers, and that one missing on the outside. Moves the count to 1 ball with 2 strikes. And Simons looks incredibly impressive so far today, but Morton rips one past the glove of a diving second baseman in Jake Schleppenbach. And now the Chinooks with their first hit of the ball game coming off the bat of famous Dave Morton. So now with the leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning, the Chinooks threatening. But of course, they've had a man aboard in now 4 of the 5 innings that they have played. And Holt Davis showing bunt first pitch here with David Morton at first, trying to play some small ball, get him over, but he pulls back late and takes that one in there for a ball. Davis, his first time up, grounded into a 4-3. As Kyle Simons checks Dave Morton back over at first base. The 1-0. And Holt Davis showing bunt again, but pulling back. With that one finding the zone for a called strike. So the count even up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Simons sets, delivers. Showing bunt again is Holt Davis, but they're saying he went around. Did not make contact, but now the count goes to 1-2, and it looks like Davis is going to have to swing away. One ball, 2 strikes the count. And that pitch gets past the glove. And David Morton going to second. He's going to try to go to third, and he slides into third safely. The catcher, Hancock, lost the ball there and did not see where it went. as it kind of rolled slowly towards the Chinooks dugout. And by the time he even saw where the ball was, Dave Morton had rounded second and moved on to third. So now the situation kind of completely different. Because instead of a man on first, you got a man on third with nobody out. And that's all due to the pass ball there, or wild pitch, whatever you want to rule it as if you're the official scorekeeper. But Dave Morton just got a two-base advance. And now just a deep sac fly from Holt Davis can tie this game. But 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Simons sets, delivers, and that one's lined right back into the glove of the pitcher, Simons, for out number 1.
Batting for the Chinooks, second baseman Will Bass.
So now 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Dave Morton stands at third. And I hate ultimatums, but they need to find some way to get Dave Morton to cross home plate. First pitch is drilled foul by Will Bass, and that's going to fly over the fans along the third base line. Hit the shack, or the shed thing, along the third base line. Nothing in 1 the count now to Bass. 159 on the year, and he grounds that one sharply to the first baseman Simons, and that's out number 2 as Simons just takes it to himself and steps on the bag. So now you had runner on third, no outs. And now you have a runner on third, 2 outs. And suddenly the situation here for the Chinooks looking a lot less optimistic. But now with 2 down coming to the plate is Hunter Hanks. Hanks 0 for 1 on the day. And Hanks takes a ball on the first pitch. The count 1-0. Hanks batting a .178 on the year. From Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, he's tasked to try to get Dave Morton home here. And he grounds that one weakly to the shortstop, Tyler Wolf. Wolf's throw to first will be in time for out number 3. So Dave Morton picks up the first hit of the ball game and then advances to third on a passed ball by the catcher, J.J. Hancock. But even with a runner on third and no outs, the Chinooks go down 1-2-3. And after 5 innings at the plate, they still are scoreless and trail this game 1-0 at the hands of the Matsu Miners. Connor Menez now coming out for his 5th inning of work.
First number 510-5990.
And we look at the day that Menez has had so far.
510-5779.
And
510-5779.
4 hits, 1 run. It's earned. 2 walks and just 1 strikeout.
510-5851.
And, normally Connor Menez will strike out a couple more than he has today, but he's making up for it with double play balls left and right. And 3 of them so far today turned by the Chinooks, and that's how they have stayed in this game. And Connor Menez has to continue to do as he does at the mound and pitch incredibly well if the Chinooks want, any chance of winning this ball game. Of course, the Matsu Miners just far and away the best team in the Alaska Baseball League this season. It's not even close, really. These guys are just a well put together, well coached, and just a hot baseball team. But now we're going to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 1-0 Matsu Miners. First pitch from Connor Menez is grounded to the shortstop, Hunter Hanks, by J.J. Hancock. He tosses over to first. Holt Davis makes the grab, and that is out number 1. Took just 1 pitch to get J.J. Hancock on the 6-3 ground out.
Left fielder Connor Wanhanen.
So now Connor Wanhanen to the plate. Wanhanen, his first time up, went down swinging for the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. Wanhanen from TCU takes inside fastball for a called strike there from Connor Menez. the Big 12 Freshman of the Year. And the 0-1 from Connor Menez missing on the outside part of the plate. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wanhanen just 8 for 55 this season. That's a 145 batting average, just 4 RBIs. 2 of them came in garbage time against the Chinooks in the 13-2 obliteration. Menez sets, delivers, and Wanhanen just gets a piece of that, fouling that in the box, and he's going to stay alive in this count. Menez about 50-something pitches in so far today. He delivers. And fastball missing on the outside. Tyler Boxwell kind of having to make an adjustment there. So the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Wanhanen, the TCU Horned Frog, a team that made it all the way to the College World Series. 2-2. And Wanhanen fouls that one off again, so he stays alive. And, of course, talking about TCU's College World Series run, Wanhanen was actually named to the all-tournament team as the designated hitter. And he was the guy that hit the go-ahead home run in the Super Regionals against Texas A&M to advance the Horned Frogs. And he swings and misses at that pitch. He strikes out for the 2nd time today. And that's out number 2 and the 2nd strikeout of the day for Connor Menez. And, we talk about Connor Wanhanen. He was so feared coming into this season. He, of course, came late as his Horned Frogs were in the College World Series. And Wanhanen, during that College World Series, was about as hot as you can get as a freshman. But he came here, and, that just makes him 8 for 56 now. And Schleppenbach rips the first pitch foul right into the Chinook bullpen. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Miners leading 1-0 over the Chinooks. The Menez 0-1 pitch. And that's fouled right back into the box by Schleppenbach. Schleppenbach, of course, from the University of Nebraska. He's a Cornhusker. Couple of Big Ten guys in this league, and he grounded out his first time up into a 4-3. That was back in the 3rd inning. So 0-2 the count. Menez sets, delivers the pitch, and that one's grounded right to the second baseman, Will Bass. He picks it up, tosses it over to first base for out number 3. So Connor Menez sends down the Matsu Miners 1-2-3, and for the Miners, no runs on no hits, nobody left aboard. And after 5 innings of baseball, the Matsu Miners lead this game 1-0. Do not go anywhere. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. We'll be right back. And we are back here for inning number 6 at Herman Brothers Field. Andrew, Alex, Garrett, Mansfield, and the Chinooks trailing this one by a score of 1-0. And Patrick Cromwell to the plate to try to get the Chinooks on the board here in the top of the 6th. First pitch from Kyle Simons. taking on the outside, ball 1. The Chinooks only able to muster up 1 hit today against Simon through 5 innings. That was a Dave Morton bloop single into right field. And Patrick Cromwell takes off the plate. The count 2-0 to the third baseman from Santa Ana College, a guy who had a 3-hit day yesterday against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And Cromwell takes again on the outside, and he's quickly ahead in this count 3-0. The 3-0 pitch coming here. And just a get-me-across pitch there from Kyle Simons moves the count to 3-1. The 3-1. And Cromwell fouling that one off down the third base line, out of play. So the count goes full. Kyle Simons about 67 pitches in. And Cromwell pops that one up in foul ground. But the third baseman, Niles Nygaard, takes a few steps into foul territory and then watches it sail out of play. So we're going to do 3-2 over again here. The Chinooks last inning, with a runner on third and nobody out, strand the runner. And just disappointing. 3-2. And Cromwell lines that one into center field, chasing back the center fielder, Alex Caruso, and it goes way over his head. It's rolling the ball. Patrick Cromwell rounding first and going to second, and he is standing at second with a double, an extra base hit for Patrick Cromwell to lead this one off. And now the Chinooks with a runner in scoring position for the second straight inning.
For the Chinooks, designated hitter Matt Ferrudo.
So Patrick Cromwell continues his streak of success. And a guy that a very big contributor for the Chinooks in the month of July. But now Matt Ferrudo to the plate. First pitch to Ferrudo, and Ferrudo lays down a bunt. It's going to third base, and the pitcher, Kyle Simons, slips in the dirt. Couldn't make the throw in time to third, and his throw to first late as he wasted some time. Looking over to Patrick Cromwell at third, so Matt Ferrudo is safe over at first. Patrick Cromwell advancing second to third. And now with Cam Baranek at the plate, nobody out here. Top of the 6th inning, the Chinooks trailing 1-0, but they have runners at the corners. And, you know, the Chinooks with another opportunity here to get a man across. And, you know, if you're a Chinooks fan, you just got to hope it'll happen eventually. And Matt Greeley's out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher.
Always expect a train. Look, listen, and live.
You gotta doubt that he'll be pulled, unless it's an injury-related thing, and yeah, no way. Simons is staying in the ball game. The pitching coach Greeley gonna walk back slowly. Now you don't really see any action in the bullpen for the Matsu Miners. But now here, top of the 6th inning, nobody out. Patrick Cromwell stands at third, Matt Ferrudo at first, and Cam Baranek to the plate. First pitch to Baranek is taken on the outside for a ball. Baranek with 13 RBIs on the year. That is among the leaders. I believe second to only Cam Baranek, and that pitch is lined into deep left field into the glove of Connor Wanhanen, but tagging up from third and coming home is Patrick Cromwell, and this game is tied. A sacrifice fly into left field off the bat of Cam Baranek brings home his Santa Ana teammate, Patrick Cromwell. And now this game is all evened up. With one out now and a runner at first, Tyler Boxwell will be the batter. First pitch to Boxwell finds the zone, a called strike. 0-1 the count. Ferrudo taking his lead over at first base. Ferrudo has 3 steals on the year, but Tyler Boxwell waves and misses at the 0-1 from Simons. So now he's behind in this count, 0-2, and Boxwell on the day. 0-1, he flew out to left his first time up, walked back in the 5th. Back in the 4th, I should say. Pitch to Boxwell's on the outside, way outside, actually. J.J. Hancock having to extend his arm to get that one. Pickoff attempt there from Kyle Simons over at first to Matt Ferrudo. Ferrudo, 3 stolen bases on the year. An interesting fact, which we'll get to in just a second. That's the pickoff attempt there, so we'll get to it. Caden Owens left way early, only appeared in 19 games this season, but he stole 7 bags. That ties the Chinooks team record for steals in a season. He did it in just 19 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Boxwell grounds that one sharply in the gap past the glove of Jake Schleppenbach over at second base, and just a perfectly placed ball there by Tyler Boxwell. Now the Chinooks with runners at first and second. 1 out here. In the top of the 6th inning, they are all tied up with the Matsu Miners at 1 run apiece. And that's going to bring Caleb Potter to the plate. Potter, of course, has the potential to knock a ball out of this park. And that would be huge for the Chinooks here, but first pitch to Potter, and Potter drives that one into the gap in right center field, and turning around third, coming home is Matt Ferrudo. Boxwell going to third, and Matt Ferrudo comes home. So a stand-up double for Caleb Potter gives the Chinooks a 2-1 lead in this ball game. And like I said, Caleb Potter, in his one other appearance against the Matsu Miners this season, had a double into, retrospectively speaking, the exact same spot in the right center gap that he just put it there. And now the Chinooks have a lead in this ball game. Who would have thought? When was the last time the Chinooks had a lead? Garrett says a while. So now Dave Morton to the plate. Dave Morton, he's singled back in the 6th inning, walked his first time up, and Morton takes on the inside there. Runners at second and third with 1 out here. And one of the few Chinooks hitting above 300. And Morton rips that one into center field, but coming under it, the center fielder Caruso. Boxwell thought about tagging up for about half a second before he saw Caruso throw the ball, and then immediately retreated back. Morton took a good cut at that one, but all it took was a couple steps from Alex Caruso there. And that ball was way too shallow. The last lead that the Chinooks have held, and Garrett, doing some deep research here, was against the Gold Panthers about a week ago. More than a week ago, actually. Last Thursday. So the Chinooks with their first lead in a week. And Holt Davis takes a hack at the first pitch, but he pops it up in the infield, and coming under it, the shortstop, Tyler Wolf, makes the grab for out number 3, but the Chinooks with 1 run on 4 hits and 2 men left aboard.
Sponsor of Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is Napa Auto Parts of Alaska.
4 runs on 2 hits.
Mr. Jim Ruda is the owner. Also, Miners Jersey. Go to your
2 runs on 3 hits and an error. 2 men left aboard, and now we are in the middle of the 6th inning. And the Chinooks hold a 2-1 lead over the Matsu Miners. And, you know, I'm a little bit happier. Gotta say, I was not gonna be a happy camper, and nor would anyone in and around the Chinooks organization if Connor Menez was gonna go out there and take a 1-0 loss. But now Menez coming out for his 6th inning of work, and the line on Menez so far today: 5 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, 1 run it's earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And he's going to be set to face the top of the order for the Matsu Miners. That's Alex Caruso, Tyler Wolf, and Brick Paskowitz. So his offense gives him a lead, but now a true test here for Connor Menezes. He sets to face the heart of the Matsu Miner order. And of course, if you let up 1 hit,
Caruso.
So coming to the plate now for the Matsu Miners, we got Alex Caruso. Caruso on the day, a pair of walks. He came around to score his first time to the plate. That's the only run the Matsu Miners have here. We're heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Chinooks leading this one 2-1 over the Matsu Miners. First pitch from Connor Menez. Finds the strike zone as Caruso watches it. First pitch strike there. 0-1 the count. Menez sets, delivers. And Caruso showing bunt there, but pulling back immediately and takes it. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Caruso from St. John's led the Big East Conference in batting average this year. And he hasn't been hitting too shabby himself this season. Came into this game batting a .347 mark, and I guess that stands, having walked his first 2 times. And Caruso hacks at that one, fouls it back right into the screen. Evens the count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out here. The Chinooks leading 2-1 with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. A lefty Menez out for his 6th inning of work. He sets, delivers the pitch, and that one is ripped over the head of the third baseman, Patrick Cromwell, into left field. Dave Morton picks it up in left and tosses it over to second. But a single for Alex Caruso has gotten the Miner offense going here in inning number 6. Still nobody going in the Chinooks bullpen.
All right, Miner fans, make some noise for our shortstop, Tyler Wolf.
So Tyler Wolf to the plate. Wolf is 1 for 2 on the day. He doubled back in the first inning, grounded into a 6-3 double play. And the pickoff attempt there from Menez. Not in time to get Caruso over at first. Wolf had the 3rd highest batting average in the Big 12. And he lays down the bunt there. Menez going to go to first, and the sacrifice is complete. But now, second. 1 down here. And that's going to bring up the Chinook killer, Brick Paskowitz. Paskowitz on the day, he's 1 for 2, grounded out to the pitcher his first time up, and he singled back in the 4th. Alex Caruso taking his lead over at second. Menez sets, delivers, and that one missing up and away, ball 1. And Brick Paskowitz rips that one into center field, and that's going to be a base hit, but Alex Caruso being held up at third base, but on the throw home, Brick Paskowitz advances from first to second. So that's going to be probably marked as a single with an advance on, I guess, indifference. But now the Matsu Miners with 1 out here have runners at second and third. And they are threatening with just 1 out here, and the Chinooks taking a 2-1 lead. And the original Chinook killer, Tanner Nishioka, up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI single, driving in the first run of the game for the Matsu Miners, and he takes upstairs ball 1. from the lefty Connor Menez. Menez's pitch count at about, I think this will be the 70th pitch that he'll throw today. Menez sets, delivers, and Nishioka fouls that one. Or it looks like it's hooking fouling. It does, and that one sails out of play. Caleb Potter chasing it. But that moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. On Nishioka, a guy that started the All-Star game for the national side and is the batting average leader for the Alaska Baseball League, hitting at a .397 mark this season. Menez sets, delivers, and that one is popped up in the infield. Holt Davis over at first, coming in and makes the grab for out number 2. So a big out there for Connor Menez, but still runners at second and third, and the batter's going to be Niles Nygaard.
Batting for the Miners, third baseman, Niles Nygaard.
Nygaard, 1 for 2 on the day. He doubled back in the 4th inning. And Chris Beck's going to come out to the mound and have a word with Connor Menez. And one of the big questions, that we can draw today is that once Connor Menez's day is over, who pitches for the Chinooks? And, that's what I would think, Garrett. Garrett saying Ted from off the air. But Teddy told me he's slated to start tomorrow. So, really, you used Carkenny yesterday. You used Jamie Ball yesterday. You used CJ in extended relief 2 days ago. You used Jason yesterday. Shane Armstrong's in Fairbanks. Michael Fairchild's hurt. You used Travis for 4 innings yesterday. Caden Owens is in Jenks, Oklahoma. Yeah, I guess you probably just got to get CJ back out there. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But now runners at second and third for the Miners. The first pitch to Niles Nygaard from Connor Menez. Taken upstairs for a ball. Menez, the 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss there from Niles Nygaard. Evens the count up 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, Nygaard, his last time up, was behind 0-2 in the count, and you're thinking to yourself, well, Menez is going to strike this guy out big time, but he just really got a hold of a ball. Just belt-high fastball and ripped it into the gap, and he rips that one right past the glove of a diving Holt Davis. Coming around to score is Alex Caruso. Brick Paskowitz into store, rolling into second. With a double is Niles Nygaard, and the Miners take a 3-2 lead. A ground ball just rolled up the first base line and got past the glove of a diving Holt Davis, and now the Chinooks put up 2 in the top of the 6th, but the Miners respond with 2 of their own in the bottom of the 6th. And it's not over yet. Hunter Simmons up with Niles Nygaard over at second. 2 down here. First pitch from Connor Menez. That's taken low and inside. The pitch. And that one's grounded right to the shortstop, Hunter Hanks. He picks it up, throws it to Holt Davis at first, who extends about all 6'4" of his body to pick it up for out number 3, but the Miners add 2 in the bottom of the 6th, and we have played 6 innings of baseball, and the Matsu Miners lead this game by a score of 3-2. Do not go anywhere. This is a thriller. Even though we're not in Manila, we'll be right back. You are listening to Chinooks Radio.
Marching on to the 7th inning as the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks now trailing 3-2. They got 2 in the top of inning number 6, and then the Miners strike back with 2 more in the bottom of that inning on a dribbler just between the bag and the first baseman, Holt Davis, to get up the line for a 2-run 2-bagger for Niles Nygaard. So it'll be Will Bass, Hunter Hanks, Patrick Cromwell due up for the Chinooks, and Will Bass takes outside corner for strike 1 from Kyle Simons, who's now into his 7th inning of work. Both pitchers have worked very well in this one. Bass swings and misses at the next offering, goes down quickly 0-2. 2 runs, 4 hits, an error for the Chinooks, and 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors for the Miners. Here's the windup. The 0-2 swing and a high fly ball to the left side, and that'll hook out of play. And almost identical innings in the 6 innings for both teams. Both did it on 2 runs and 3 hits and an opposing team error. Here's the 0-2 from Simon. That's going to miss high and outside, ball 1. So 1-2 goes the count on Will Bass. Bass today 0 for 2. Ground out to the pitcher, and then a ground out to the first baseman, Hunter Simmons. He stands back in. Here's the 1-2 offering. Takes outside, ball 2. Evens the count back up. The 6th inning for the Chinooks had 2 extra base hits. But the important thing is getting the leadoff man on. They were very close in the 5th inning to tying the game at 1. But left him in at 3rd. That's going to be outside with a breaking... No, that's called strike 3 on the corner. The breaking ball came back and nipped the edge. And Will Bass is down on strikes. Just the 3rd strikeout of the evening for Kyle Simons. That'll bring up Hunter Hanks. Hanks also 0 for 2. Grounded out to the pitcher and then a ground out to short. Here's the offering from Simons. Breaking ball comes inside but misses. Ball 1. Hunter was 1 for 3 last night. Only has 6 walks on the season and only hitting $178. Got to find a way to get on base here. There, that ball is ripped down the left side, but that'll get foul. Count will quickly go 1-1. Seems like every time. Now this goes back to last year as well. Every time the Chinooks have a foot up on the Miners and have a chance, Matsu comes right back and answers. The 1-2, that's lofted in the left field. That'll be a base hit for Hunter Hanks. So he's aboard with a 1-out single for Patrick Cromwell in the top of the order.
And that was just a very pretty swing by Hunter Hanks. A textbook line drive right between Niles Nygaard and Tyler Wolf. And now the Chinooks have a man aboard trying to tie this game up again here in the top of the 7th.
Cromwell, he doubled and scored last inning. That was to lead off the inning. 7 guys came to the plate for the Chinooks. The first offering from Simmons hits the outside corner for a strike. Probably one of the best offensive showings the Chinooks have had in any one inning for quite some time, especially against this pitching staff. Simons fires home the 0-1. That's going to be a little bit away. Evens it up at 1-1. As the Chinooks are in their second to last game on the road tonight. They'll play one more here in Matsu tomorrow. Here's the 1-1. That's outside corner, and it'll miss. 2-1 against Cromwell. Of course, the Chinooks with just 2 games left, they can't come back and have a 500 record on the road. 8-11 away from Loretta French Park this year. And even if they sweep these 2 games, still be 1 game shy. But Matsu, an impressive 11-4 at home, probably one of the better home teams in all of the Alaska Baseball League. 2-1 Here's the pitch from Simons to Cromwell. That's going to be on the outer edge for strike 2. Of course, the Chinooks and the Glacier Pilots have had their fair share of trouble on their own turf. It seemed like the Glacier Pilots couldn't win a game at Mulcahy Field to save their lives for the longest time. And then after the All-Star break, something clicked. And now the Glacier Pilots are just one of 3 teams above 500 in this league. Cromwell hits one off the end of the bat towards the second baseman. Schleppenbach flipped the second for 1. The relay to first is in time. 4-6-3 twin killer ends the side in the top of the 7th. And now it is stretch time at Herman Brothers Field, and we're going to do it with them as we'll step off, as you'll have more Chinooks baseball around the break. Bottom of inning number 7, the Matsu Miners holding on to a 3-2 lead over the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Alaska Baseball League action. And we are getting towards the end of the season. The Matsu Miners already with the division locked up. They'll represent the National League in the top of the World Series. And the bottom third of their order will face Connor Menez, J.J. Hancock, Connor Wanhan, and Jake Schleppenbach due up for the Matsu. First offering and a swing and a miss by Hancock. Connor Menez tonight through 6 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Throwing in the Chinooks bullpen, so the end of the line getting close, and Hancock fouls this one softly towards the third base side, only gets about 40 feet up the line before it stops rolling and goes to 0-2. Trying to get a read on the relievers getting loose, and it appears to be, this looks like C.J. Lewington at the moment. So 0-2 against Hancock. Here's the windup and the pitch from Menez, and Hancock hits one the other way. He got jammed and still comes away with a base hit. This is what I'm talking about with the Matsu Miners. They just find a way to get aboard no matter what. Connor Menez makes a great pitch, but still has nothing to show for it, as the Miners have a single to lead off the inning, and now Connor Wanhanen. But the bright spot has been the double play ball, the magical thing. Menez with 3 double play ground balls today. But on the flip side, the offense hasn't really helped him either. There's 2 of them that Kyle Simons has gotten the Chinooks to ground into. First pitch misses from Menez. And now that the pitcher in the bullpen hits the mound, it is C.J. Lewington getting ready. Menez drops a bunt first base side, but it goes off his foot for a foul ball. So 1-1 is the count. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of inning number 7 at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Matsu Miners holding a 3-2 lead. They had 1 in the first inning, and then the Chinooks got 2 to take the lead in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th came, and the Miners got 2 back. Menez with a pickoff move. Nothing doing, as Hancock back safely at first. But a 2-out 2-run double by Niles Nygaard, just perfectly placed along the first base line. And that's popped up at the plate, caught by Boxwell. Throw back to first in time. Double play.
Double play number 4. And Connor Menez, though the Matsu Miners have had their way of dropping in hits here and there, it's tough when this guy forces so many pop-ups, so many ground balls, especially the ground ball. I mean, this was a kind of a weirder double play that just happened, but if half the outs you're getting are strikeouts and 6-3s, it's hard to produce.
Here's the first offering to Schleppenbach. He turns and laces this one to deep right center, but there is Caleb Potter to make the out. But just one other note is the struggles continue for Connor Wanhanen. Almost a summer to forget about. Can't even get a sacrifice bunt down at this point. But after 7 full innings of play, the home Matsu Miners with a 3-2 lead over the Chinooks. We'll be right back with more Alaska Baseball League action. Eighth inning underway. Matt Ferruto takes the lead off this inning. So Ferruto digging back in. 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice and reaching on an error. Grounds this ball to short. Over with the throw is Tyler Wolf, and it's in time to get Ferruto. So he is the first out of the inning for Caleb McCann on in relief.
Yes, there are 2 numbers because there are 2.
For Kyle Simons, 13 2/3 innings of work for McCann. 3 runs all season long, 7 strikeouts. Has a 1-0 record. And he'll face now Cameron Baranek, misses inside, skips to the backstop. We've seen McCann numerous times.
Right next to the concessions.
Actually, his 6th appearance against the Chinooks in the regular season. The only time he has given up any runs was the first time he saw them back on June 12th, and that was to open the season. But other than that, nothing more than just a lone hit in each of those games. Here's the 2-0 pitch from McCann to Baranek. He swings and tips that one off at the plate, so we'll stay at 2-1 now. And Kyle Simons, 7 innings, 5-hit baseball, giving up 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And Baranek lifts this one into the air. Shallow center coming in is Caruso. He makes the out. And that'll be the second one of the inning. And now it'll be Tyler Boxwell to hit with 2 outs. Chinooks trailing by 1. Here at the top of the 8th inning, had the lead at one point. Led 2-1 going into the bottom of the 6th. Finally gave Connor Menez a lead. And then just one of the best placed baseballs you could possibly hit. Niles Nygaard goes the other way, hits it off the end of the bat between the first baseman and the bag for a 2-run double down the right field line. Boxwell fouls off the second pitch he sees. He's down 0-2. 2 outs, Chinooks down by a run. No throwing right now in the Chinooks bullpen. It looks like the 8th inning will be Connor Menez. And this is hit in the air. Shallow left field. Coming in is the left fielder Connor Wanhanen. He makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. And that'll do it for the Chinooks in inning number 8. They go down quietly. And now they will send Menez out for his 8th inning of work. Just waiting on his catcher to get ready, and we'll take a quick break along with him. And we'll be right back with the bottom of the 8th inning. Chinooks trailing the Matsu Miners 3-2 in Palmer. We'll be right back with more Alaska Baseball League action. Connor Menez back out there for the 8th inning. He's given up 3 runs so far today. All 3 of them earned. And he has done so on 8 hits, 2 walks. But really, all of those 8 hits, not many of them have been hard. He's given up a handful of extra base hits, but not the typical that doubles or anything that you would expect. Even the singles have been soft. First pitch strike to Alex Caruso. Squares the bunt, drops it first base side. Menez has it between the mound and first base, and underhand flip to Holt Davis at first base for the out. So that's 1 gone here in the 8th. And now that brings up Tyler Wolf, a double and a double play and another ground out in this one. He's 1 for 3. Menez does not have a complete game to his record yet this summer. The only one for the Chinooks pitching staff came from Braxton Wilson. He did it over an 8-inning rain-shortened game. He did have 3 complete games with the Masters College this last spring. 1-0 to Wolf. Here it comes. He hits this one off into the end of the bat, and it'll go foul just barely. Beyond first base, Holt Davis was there to give it a look and couldn't quite catch up to it, so it moves the count to 1-1. Around the Alaska Baseball League. Bottom of the 7th inning in Kenai, the Bucks with a 4-2 lead over the Oilers, looking to extend their division lead to 3 games. Here's the 1-1 to Wolf. Fouls that one back behind us. Makes it a 1-2 count. The Bucks and the Oilers still one more game to go in that series before the Oilers come to Chugiak to play 2 on Sunday and Monday. In Fairbanks, Glacier Pilots and the Gold Panthers tied at 1. 1-2 pitch. Goes up the ladder, and Wolf swings and misses. So Connor Menez with his 4th strikeout tonight. And actually make that his 3rd. Now Brick Paskowitz to the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 singles.
And Menez, his stuff looks pretty much as good here in the 8th inning as it did in the 1st, and that speaks volumes about the kind of pitcher he is.
First offering to Paskowitz. That's going to be at the knees, a called strike, right of the zone. So we were talking about who potentially could relieve Menez tonight. Short bullpen over the last 3 games that has been completely torched by the Glacier Pilots. Pitch misses low, moves the pitch count to 1-1 against Paskowitz. But Connor Menez solving that tonight. So far, 7 2/3 strong innings. That fastball misses away, goes to 2-1. But all indications is if this game extends to what could be a bottom of the 9th inning, Shooks will need at least 1 run to do so. Brick fouls that one off. 2-2 count now. 2 down, bottom of the 8th inning. But if Menez, questionable whether he would come out for a 9th inning if the Chinook for the dugout. Immediately he knew that slider was dirty, and that's the 4th strikeout of the night for Connor Menez, and that could be his final inning of the night, but it'll be up to the Chinooks offense in the top of the 9th. The Chinooks trailing 3-2 to the Matsu Miners, and we'll be right back with the quick time in the Valley. Brick Paskowitz on the mound for the Matsu Miners. He will look for save number 11. He'll face Caleb Potter, David Morton, and Holt Davis. Paskowitz this season, a 1.06 ERA. He is 2-0 with 10 Alaska Baseball League saves. He has 11 total, including non-league play. He winds it up, and the first offering to Potter is a jam job over to the right side, and foul ground is the first baseman Simmons, and he runs out of room. That's going to be strike 1, and Simmons scary close to the fence that divides the fans from the field of play. So an 0-1 count to begin the at-bat with Potter. 3-2, Miners leading this thing. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Chinooks will need at least 1 run or Connor Menez could be given a tough luck loss on the hill. 8 innings so far from Menez. That's in there from Paskowitz to Potter. 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts. And actually 4 strikeouts, excuse me. Paskowitz into the motion. Here's the 0-2 to Potter. Swing and a miss way out in front of a changeup. And that's the first out of the inning. Just the 4th strikeout by Miners pitching today. That brings up David Morton. 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Morton led off the 5th inning with a single, had a 2-base pass ball, and was stranded at third base as the next 3 hitters would get out.
You are the largest crowd that has ever been in attendance in the last 13 years.
How about that?
Show me how long.
Announcing the attendance here.
486 people can be.
4,286. The official attendance here in Matsu, the largest crowd in Alaska Baseball League history over the last 13 seasons. And David Morton with a soft liner into shallow right field. Chris Hall, the new right fielder, tries to make the diving catch, but it falls in front of him. And now Jacob Bropes will pinch hit for Holt Davis.
Yeah, Dave just doing as he does. I feel like every time Dave gets a hit, it's pretty much the exact same thing. He just pops it in there. You know, you saw him get out on the exact same thing as center field earlier, but 2 hits today for Morton. Continues to be productive.
And Bropes takes upstairs, ball 1. Bropes leading the Chinooks in hitting. But has just 1 extra base hit. We were joking today that he's just a solid singles guy. And that's exactly what the Chinooks would need here. They would benefit from his speed on the base path with David Morton. Morton away from first. The 1-0 from Paskowitz comes to the plate. Upstairs 2-0.
And a big spot here for Jacob Bropes.
That pitch in there, 2-1. You remember, back to a ball game at Loretta French. I believe it was near the end of June between the Chinooks and the Miners. As Bropes fouls this one off to the right side and out of play, moves it to 2-2. The Chinooks scored 2 off of Paskowitz in the 9th inning and almost came back to win that game, but fell just short. Upstairs 3-2 to count. In fact, that was a game back on June 30th, so it was the last day of the month of June. So 3-2, 1 out, a runner on. Chinooks trailing by 1. Paskowitz, the pitch to Bropes inside, ball 4. So first and second. Still 1 out for Will Bass.
Now you get to the part, though, of the Chinooks lineup. And Will Bass and Hunter Hanks are just 1 for 6 combined tonight. But Will Bass, as we've seen throughout this season, when he can connect with a baseball, just puts some force of electricity in it. And Will Bass, if he puts it in the right spot like we know he can, could easily bang a triple and give the Chinooks a lead. But it all comes down to this right here. A big spot, and Matt Greeley out to have a talk with his closer, Brick Paskowitz. And Brick, a guy who a lot of people are talking about for league MVP just because of the way he can field, he can hit, he can, he can pitch.
He does it all. He's a man with all of the answers for the Matsu Miners. And with this a beautiful night, and no question, one of our nicer nights for baseball. 4,000 plus here in Herman Brothers Field watching A great game between the Chinooks and the Miners. Great pitching on both sides, and timely hitting is the only reason. The Miners have a 3-2 lead. Connor Menez could take a complete game loss if this thing stays the way it is. First and second, one out. Will Bass will face Brick Paskowitz. Paskowitz coming set, working third base side of the rubber. And he kicks and fires home. Breaking ball, backdoors Bass for strike one. Will Bass and Hunter Hanks, a couple guys that have struggled in situations like this, will have to come up big with some of their best at-bats of the summer to overcome the potential league MVP and Brick Paskowitz. Here's in the 0-1 and a pickoff play to second. And Tyler Wolf will hold on to it, but David Morton is safe at second. Ropes over at first. He pinch hit for Holt Davis and walked. Ropes getting a day out of the lineup tonight, getting a day off, but a big walk in the ninth. And Bass, sharp hit, backhanded by the shortstop. Wolf to second for one. The relay not in time. Will Bass beat the throw. And now it's first and third with 2 outs.
And Will Bass, didn't really connect with the baseball there, but give him credit. The moment that ball came off the bat and he saw where it was going, he dug towards first base. Unbelievable effort there. And the Chinooks still alive with the tying run and Dave Morton at third base. And if you're a Chinooks fan, you are hoping from the bottom of your heart that Dave Morton will not be stranded at third base for the second time today.
So Hunter Hanks in a big spot. Here's the first offering from Paskowitz. It's a slider. It's a strike. 0-1 to start the at-bat with Hanks. 1 for 3 so far today. A soft single through the hole on the left side of the infield his last time to the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Paskowitz. A big swing and a miss. 0-2. Chinooks are now down to their final strike. Morton, the runner at third base, he got on there with a single. Will Bass, fielder's choice just moments ago, put him over there in scoring position. 90 feet away is the tying run. 3-2 ball game. Miners on top of this one. Paskowitz sets the 0-2, and Hanks fouls it right back. He stays at 0-2. We're still alive here. But Brick Paskowitz has been superb all season long. 17-plus innings. Just 2 earned runs, both of them on that June 30th game against the Chinooks. And Paskowitz pulls the string on a changeup, strikes out Hanks to end the ball game. And the Chinooks will go down for the 10th time to the Matsu Miners after 12 meetings and will fall to 14-20 on the season. The Miners go to 27-7, and a tremendous performance by the Matsu Miners from top to bottom all day. They battled Connor Menez, and Menez fought right back. He goes a complete game, 8-inning gem, but it just wasn't good enough against the best team in the league tonight.
And Garrett, the past couple of nights when we've seen the Chinooks lose, I could say that you leave disappointed in that the Chinooks beat themselves, but no question about it, the Matsu Miners beat the Chinooks tonight. The better baseball team won. And it's just, when you look at this ball club, the Matsu Miners are a well-oiled machine from top to bottom. And like you said, you get something different out of every guy every night. Tyler Wolf comes into the game, batting .229, rips a double. You got Tanner Nishioka always, productive against the Chinooks. He had an RBI single. Niles Nygaard with a pair of doubles, 2 RBIs. And, you can't stop that, especially when the pitching is as efficient as it is for the Matsu Miners. And just another day where the Chinooks and the Miners battled, and down to the last second, it was a thriller here. And just an absolutely beautiful night for baseball. I went down to the field level to just kind of feel out the area because of the energy that you could feel here at Herman Brothers Field. You got 4,000-plus people on hand tonight to watch these two teams, these two sets of collegiate athletes here in Alaska playing high-level baseball on a gorgeous night, and it was a fun night to be out here, but unfortunately the Chinooks could not come up with the victory.
And tonight, the final line, Chinooks, 2 runs, 6 hits, and air. The Matsu Miners turn in 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 airs. How did it happen? Well, we'll tell you. In the first inning, Alex Caruso, he walked to lead off the ball game, got to third on a Tyler Wolf double. Nobody out. Connor Menez would get Brick Paskowitz to ground out to the right back to the mound. Then Tanner Nishioka singled home Caruso, and then a big 1-6-3 double play from Connor Menez, the first of 4 double plays Menez would get tonight to help his cause. That would end the first inning. Then from there, it was just a boxing match between Kyle Simons and Connor Menez. These are the 2 guys that really had it going. Their stuff worked great. Even though they had 13 hits combined, they pitched extremely well between the 2 of them. The 2 runs off of Kyle Simons would come in the 6th inning. That was when Patrick Cromwell led off the inning with a double. Matt Ferrudo moved him over to third when he reached on an error. And then Cameron Baranek had a sacrifice fly to medium left field. Got home Cromwell. So that makes it 1-1. But the Chinooks would not let up there. Tyler Boxwell would single, put first and second with just 1 out. Then Caleb Potter, he plugged the gap in right center field. An RBI double for him in that 6th inning, put the Chinooks ahead 2-1. Then move over to the bottom of the 6th inning, and that's when the Miners just found a way to win it. That's what separates good teams from great teams. The Matsu Miners found a way to win tonight, and that's where it happened in the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex Caruso, he was the catalyst in the 1st inning. He did it in the 6th inning. He led it off with a single. Then Brick Paskowitz would single. Then after that, a pop-up by Tanner Nishioka to first base and foul ground with runners. Then at second and third, Niles Nygaard down 2 strikes with 2 outs, hits one off the end of the bat towards first base. It got by a diving Holt Davis at first and got up the right field line for a 2-run double that would take the lead and take it for good for the Matsu Miners, and they then went on to win it 3-2. But the Chinooks in the 9th, Alpha Brick Paskowitz gave it everything they had a single from David Morton, then a walk from the pinch hitter Jacob Brobst. Will Bass got the tying run 90 feet away when he grounded into a fielder's choice and beat out the throw. That could have been an ending or a game-ending double play, that would be. And then Hunter Hanks was shown the door to end this game when Brick Paskowitz struck out his 2nd batter and picked up his 11th save of the year. Kyle Simons, he's the winning pitcher tonight. He is now 5-0. How about that? Connor Menez, tough luck, falls to 3-2 this year. He is now, if I'm thinking right, has now lost back-to-back starts. And actually, no, I am wrong on that one. The other loss would have come earlier on in the season because the Chinooks did tie the game after he left his last start. So Menez will now drop to 3-2. Brick Paskowitz with save number 11. Chinooks and the Miners will be right back here again tomorrow night. Another 6 o'clock start between the Chinooks and the Miners. It'll be the final time the Fish and the Boys in Green will face each other. Just a couple notable performances tonight. David Morton for the Chinooks, 2 hits and 3 at-bats, did have a walk. Alex Caruso, a couple of walks, scored twice for the Miners. He was a big reason why they were on top as well. Niles Nygaard, though, 2 doubles and 3 at-bats. Your final lines for your pitchers tonight: Kyle Simons, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 errors. 1 of them was earned, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. For Connor Menez, he goes a complete game, 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, and the 4 strikeouts. The ERA for Connor Menez will go up just a tad to 1.99, but still the innings leader in the Alaska Baseball League, and just continues to terrorize the Miners. He won't have another shot at Matsu, however, but probably will have another start, possibly 2 left in the bag. And yet again, we'll be back here tomorrow night. The Miners coming and winning tonight 3-2. And the Chinooks have now lost 4 straight after the All-Star break. And they'll try to right the ship tomorrow and before they come back home on Sunday to finish out the year for the last 6 games at home. From Andrew Alex, I am Garrett Mansfield, and we're at the top of the world, wherever you might be, listening to us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a thriller over 9 innings tonight. Yet again, Miners better the Chinooks by a score of 3-2. We'll see you again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Alaska time. Well, until then, fish on.